This presentation of Bridgeport Bluefish Baseball presents the Bridgeport Bluefish and the York Revolution. Hello, everyone. Perry Miles here. Great to be here on this sultry day from Sovereign Bank Stadium in York, PA. It's in the lower Susquehanna Valley. The Bluefish have not had a whole lot of success against the Revolution on the road in the past, but Bridgeport has won 4 out of the 6 meetings at this venue, hoping to even the season series. The Revolution, 39 wins and 16 losses at their home venue, 4 of those 16 coming this year, 2012. But the Bluefish, they have been scoring plenty of runs in support of their starting pitching of late, which is why they have won 5 of the last 7 dating back to just before the All-Star break. The Bluefish will be throwing Dan Serafini to the hill, an outstanding left-handed pitcher, 3 wins and no losses with an ERA of 2.73. Serafini is also the pitching coach for the ball club as he makes his way to the mound. Fastball, curveball, changeup featured from Serafini. For the Revolution, it is Derek Gordon, who is 1-4 with an ERA of 6.44. All of his results came with the Sugar Land Skeeters. That's where he came from. There are a couple of changes. York Revolution did not pick up certain contracts. They released others, and now they have a relatively new team. No more Omar Javier in the starting rotation. He was removed for Derek Gordon, but let's not forget about certain releases, including Matt Chico and now Duma Garcia. The Bluefish and the Revolution taking place today in less than 20 minutes time. When we come back on the Bluefish broadcast, we'll take a closer look at the rest of the Atlantic League, what unfolded yesterday. Also some news from independent baseball, including Bob Weir's blog on the independent ranks, including several players that were picked up. It's off to first pitch from Sovereign Bank Stadium. You're listening to Bluefish Baseball on BridgeportBluefish.com.
Screwdriver, golf tee from the golf trip that you never went golfing on, grill fork, tuning fork, fork, drumsticks, a motel key. Let's not talk about the motel key. Needle nose pliers, a spark plug, a domino, a house key. There's lots of things you can use to open the new Miller Lite Punch Top can, but you'll always get the same thing, a smooth pour with less glug. However you punch it, it's Miller time. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
Why do we love baseball? Is it the uniforms, the pace of the game, the mascots? Could be. Or could it be that what we really love is that baseball reminds us how we can all come out ahead when we work together, just like a good team? At Prudential Annuities, we understand that when everyone works together, good things can happen. That's why each year, we uphold a commitment to helping charitable causes in our community by pitching in financial resources and by enabling Prudential Annuities employees to help others through volunteer work. From conducting mentoring programs and helping homeless shelters to supporting health awareness and food banks, Prudential Annuities is more than a big company in Fairfield County. We're a big part of the community, too. Prudential Annuities, going to bat for the community.
The Prudential Insurance Company of America, Newark, New Jersey, and its affiliates. Prudential Annuities is a business of Prudential Financial, Inc.
This is Terry McGriff, pitching coach for the Bridgeport Bluefish, and you're listening to Perry Miles on the Bluefish broadcast.
A poem entitled Coors Light Summer. It's a Coors Light summer, hot babes all around. Backyard barbecues are where you'll be found. It gets pretty hot out, but it'll be all right because coolers are filled with ice-cold Coors Light. You step outside, mini skirts galore. Beer garden for the ball game, that's what's in store. It's going to be a scorcher, but there's hope in sight. Refreshment awaits, Frost Brewed Coors Light. Thank you.
Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
I call this little ditty America's Pastime. Summer's here and it feels pretty nice. Baseball and hot dogs and refreshment on ice. Some games are early, some are at night, but there's always a beer man with ice-cold Coors Light. He's the most reliable player in the game. All it takes is calling his name, so even if your team doesn't hit any dingers, you'll have frost-brewed refreshment at the tips of your fingers. Thank you.
Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
I call this one Best Girlfriend Ever. It had been a long day and an even longer week, so I headed toward the kitchen, refreshment I did seek. But after swinging open the fridge, I saw the most horrific sight. Not a single cold beverage, not a single Coors Light. I grabbed my keys, it was time to hit the store, but stopped when I heard a knock at the door. It was my girlfriend, bearing gifts of Coors Light. Best girlfriend ever? You got that right.
Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Meet Ice Cube.
What's up?
Ice Cube is cold.
No, the coldest.
But one thing just might be colder.
Man, it better not be.
Coors Light has a new 2-stage cold-activated label that not only tells you when your beer is cold, but super cold.
Yeah, I know, super cold. It threw snow on me last time.
It snowed on you?
You better check yourself.
Ice Cube is cold, but Coors Light is super cold. Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Behind everything you're searching for is something you're actually looking for. When you flip through the Real Yellow pages for a plumber, you're actually looking to reclaim your home from a renegade faucet. It's not just getting directions to a tailor with YP.com. It's looking your best for an interview. And it's more than finding a mechanic with YP.com on your mobile. It's getting your road trip back on track. Whatever it might be, there are more ways to search and more ways to find exactly what you're looking for with the Real Yellow pages, YP.com, and YP.com on your mobile, only from AT&T.
We welcome you back to the Bluefish Broadcast Network. Perry Miles here. The Bluefish taking on the York Revolution in game number 4 of this 4-game series. Lots to look forward to for the Bluefish as they are 4-2 heading into tonight's action. They are the early game among the 3 teams, or the 3 sets of games on tonight's Atlantic League menu. You can, of course, choose the Bluefish and the Revolution. There are 2 other contests taking place, one of which includes Long Island and Somerset from Central Islip, New York, and the other one, Camden and Lancaster. There is a lot of rain in the forecast for York, Pennsylvania, showers and thunderstorms from another crossing cold front after a certain cold front passed by yesterday, providing strong and severe thunderstorms from here all the way to the Midwest and Chicago and all the way east to Boston. It was quite a day weather-wise. Mother Nature not allowing anything to settle down, and it appears as if there are storms headed from the Pittsburgh area east, and it's much further east of Pittsburgh than it normally is. It's about 100, 150 miles away. It's expected to enter the region about 8:15, 8:30, based on weather.com projections. But the Bluefish and the Revolution probably would be through 5-6 innings by that point, as the Bluefish and the Revolution will try to tackle one another for another victory. The Bluefish hoping to win their second series against the Revolution on the road. It would be the first time in franchise history that they would have accomplished such a feat, considering that the Bluefish had just 12 victories heading into this season against the Revs at this ballpark. They had very little success other years. The most wins that this squad had in past times was back in 2010 when the squad went 4-6. Still lost the season series at this venue, which is more hitter friendly, and the Bluefish pitchers have still not found a way to really control where the baseball goes in left and left center field. The pitching has certainly improved. The offensive players have made their strides. In the end, it comes down to execution of pitches. Dan Serafini has been that guy for the Bluefish over the first 7 games that he has performed. Yes, he gave up 5 runs in his last start, and yes, he gave up a few home runs, but he was able to give the Bluefish length, something that Bridgeport desperately needs, considering that they are making a couple of changes to the starting rotation, beginning with the Lancaster series. Raymar Diaz is taking the hill tomorrow. That is one of the changes, rather than having Jonah Bayless. And the second change is that Matt Pike has been reinstalled into the starting lineup. He will be pitching on Sunday, barring any unforeseen circumstances, which may include rainouts or other undetermined occurrences. If that were the case, Matt Pike's start would be pushed back from Sunday until Monday. Let's take a look at the starting lines. First behind Dan Serafini's Bridgeport Bluefish, it is Edgardo Baez getting his second straight start. He had 2 hits yesterday. He's in left field. Eddie Rogers is the shortstop batting second, while Prentice Redmond bats third and plays right field. Brock Peterson bats fourth and plays first base. He's leading the Atlantic League in home runs. He's one of the top players. Also in RBI as Ramon Castro yesterday passed by the Bluefish first baseman in that category. Luis Lopez is the third baseman batting fifth. Louis Rodriguez doing the catching batting sixth. Shea Hillenbrand collected his first home run since 2008 in yesterday's game that burst open a 3-2 game, and he is the DH batting seventh. James Simmons has been scorching the baseball of late. He bats eighth. He's had 3 home runs in this series, and he's had a multitude of extra base hits in the process, 11 in the past 9 contests. Luis Figueroa rounds out the Bluefish rotation. He bats ninth and plays second base behind Dan Serafini. 6 innings, 5-run baseball for Serafini last time out. But the Bluefish left-hander features a fastball, curveball, and changeup. Down in Mexico when he performed earlier this year, Serafini reached anywhere, he said, from 90 to 94 miles per hour. Now, there is a different measurement that's used. Rather than using miles per hour, usually you'll have kilometers per hour based on the metric system. The translation from kilometers per hour to miles per hour is succinct, and that's what Serafini considered, 90 to 94 miles per hour on the radar gun. Right now, he's been clocked anywhere between 88 and 91, 92 miles per hour, but on the hottest days, he can reach up there into the low and mid-90s, 93, 94 on the gun. The former first-round draft pick of the Minnesota Twins has a number of years of big league experience, and he loves the game of baseball. During his spare time, he teaches children at his own baseball academy, and he's not the only one that's involved in sports. His wife is as well, and his wife, believe it or not, is the equestrian rider, the backup equestrian rider for the U.S. Olympic team. Congratulations to her on that accomplishment. I'm sure that she's going to work her way up to try to become number 1 for the U.S. equestrian team. Serafini will have to face this starting lineup. Brandon Hoffman leads off and plays left field. Scott Grimes is in center field batting second. Ramon Castro bats third and plays third. Andres Perez, the second baseman, batting fourth. Jeff Fiorentino is in right field batting fifth. He's had a lot of success against the Bluefish in this series. He has at least reached base twice in each of the 3 games. Only 1 game did he have 1 hit, the rest of them multiple hit games. Chris Nowak is batting 6th and playing first base. James Shanks is the DH batting 7th, while Travis Scott gets bumped down to the 8th spot and does the catching. Danny Gonzalez rounds out the York rotation behind Derek Gordon with a record of 1-4, ERA of 6.44. He's done a great job last year with the Somerset Patriots. He's reached as high as AA baseball in his career. This is the 2nd team that he's been a part of in the year 2012. The first one was with the Skeeters. Last year with Somerset, performed quite well, stormed out to a great record coming over from the American Association out of Lamar University, and made it to AA and even AAA baseball at points. Had a brief stint with AAA Sacramento, 1 appearance, an inning and 2/3 of 1-run baseball before moving to AA Midland for much of the regular season. It is Derek Gordon coming up against Dan Serafini. But first, let's update you on some of the moves from across the Atlantic League today. We talked about Matt Chico getting released. Well, that was true. True a few days ago. What's also true is Duma Garcia, who had a horrible game a few days ago, he has been released as well. Replaced by Victor Garate, 6'1", 210 pounds out of Maracay, Venezuela. And he's reached as high as big league baseball. Last team was with the Nashville Sound. So he had AAA experience this past year, and he comes over from AAA to try to help the Revolution to be the first team to win 3 straight championships. The Revolution have not added anyone else since that point, as they have 5 outfielders, 5 infielders, 2 catchers, that's 12 players, and 13 pitchers in the process. The Bluefish, they did activate Dan Serafini, which means 1 player had to have been deactivated, and when we come back on the Bluefish broadcast, we will tell you which player has been placed on the inactive list. Stay tuned, you're listening to Bluefish Baseball on BridgeportBluefish.com.
A poem entitled Coors Light Summer. It's a Coors Light summer, hot babes all around. Backyard barbecues are where you'll be found. It gets pretty hot out, but it'll be alright because coolers are filled with ice-cold Coors Light. You step outside, mini skirts galore. Beer garden for the ball game, that's what's in store. It's gonna be a scorcher, but there's hope in sight. Refreshment awaits, Frost Brewed Coors Light. Thank you.
Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
I call this little ditty America's Pastime. Summer's here and it feels pretty nice. Baseball and hot dogs and refreshment on ice. Some games are early, some are at night, but there's always a beer man with ice-cold Coors Light. He's the most reliable player in the game. All it takes is calling his name, so even if your team doesn't hit any dingers, you'll have frost-brewed refreshment at the tips of your fingers. Thank you.
Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
I call this one Best Girlfriend Ever. It had been a long day and an even longer week, so I headed toward the kitchen, refreshment I did seek. But after swinging open the fridge, I saw the most horrific sight. Not a single cold beverage, not a single Coors Light. I grabbed my keys, it was time to hit the store, but stopped when I heard a knock at the door. It was my girlfriend, bearing gifts of Coors Light. Best girlfriend ever? You got that right.
Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Meet Ice Cube.
What's up?
Ice Cube is cold.
No, the coldest.
But one thing just might be colder.
Man, it better not be.
Coors Light has a new 2-stage cold-activated label that not only tells you when your beer is cold, but super cold.
Yeah, I know, super cold. It threw snow.
Behind everything you're searching for is something you're actually looking for. When you search with the real Yellow Pages, you get more than a contractor. You get a whole new curb appeal. It's not just getting directions to a dry cleaner with YP.com. It's rescuing an old favorite from the back of the closet. And it's more than finding a locksmith with YP.com on your mobile. It's getting to sleep in your own bed. Whatever it might be, there are more ways to search.
In the 6th inning, and it was either a cramp or a hamstring issue. Nothing too serious. Oseguera feels that it was a cramp, but you never know with these hot conditions. Remember this, that's the 2nd straight start that Oseguera has made in 95-degree weather or hotter, and he's had to leave the game because of the heat causing either a cramp or a hamstring problem, and they will not know, or they have no idea whether it's a pull or just a cramp. At this point, that was the diagnosis last night. I'm sure he is feeling a little bit better today, getting some rest. Sure, Oseguera is hoping to continue to impress and make his way back to the starting rotation again. There were a number of changes to the lineup for the starting rotation, and one of them was Raymar Diaz being placed for tomorrow. You have Gilbert De La Vara, and then Chris Hayes' spot taken over by Matt Pike. Number of orders for the Bluefish manager to perform, and so many pieces to try to place together. It almost feels like there are 28 players that could possibly perform. Brett Dowdy's condition is improving day by day. Pedro Lopez, who is not on the road with the team, but I'm sure he is trying to recover as quickly as he possibly can. Dan Serafini, who's activated for today, but is probably going to wind up on the inactive list again once he is done pitching. As the York Revolution come out to the field, it's 28 players for 25 spots, and you have to keep the number 25 intact. Otherwise, there's going to be a major issue with the Bluefish and the league, and I'm sure they do not want to have to deal with that. The Revolution are on the field. We'll get to the national anthem right now from behind home plate.
Anniversary of York County native Zachary Clouser being killed in Iraq while serving his country with the United States Army. He comes from a family of Revolution fans, as his parents, Ron and Deb Etheridge, are loyal season ticket holders. Please stand at this time for a moment of silence in Zach's memory and for all the soldiers who have made the ultimate sacrifice in service to our country. Thank you. Now fans, again at this time, if you remain standing. Again, tonight's national anthem ceremony is presented by Aero Energy. Tonight our national anthem will be performed by Hugh Benedict. You see by the dawn's midnight what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose rose stripes and bright stars through the perilous night were the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, stay does that star-spangled banner yet wave, for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Another move that was made by the York Revolution, besides the aforementioned additions of Derek Gordon and also pitcher Victor Garate, they are able to get their outfielder back in Brandon Hoffman. He was out due to personal leave. His wife had just recently gotten the cross-country coaching gig at the University of Dayton in Ohio, Division I college athletics. Congratulations to his wife on that opportunity. The Bluefish have had plenty of opportunities against Derek Gordon. Matter of fact, the left-handers' last 3 outings have been against the Bluefish. 3 innings of 2-run baseball, 2 earned run baseball, 3 runs total, 3 hits, and a walk. He features a fastball, a breaking ball, and a changeup. Derek Gordon on the hill, a left-handed pitcher, plenty of experience on his resume. Left-hander was with the Somerset Patriots last year and performed very well down the stretch, even with a team that had struggled as much as his squad had. Last year, with Somerset, 7 wins and 4 losses with an ERA of 2.63, which prompted him, after he was with Gary South Shore Railcats in the American Association, to get him to near his hometown, Beaumont, Texas. And that's why he played for Sugarland all that time, but he was underachieving with the Skeeters and finds himself on the York Revolution because he was ineffective, and there was a shift in movement, trade for one player for the player to be named later. Derek Gordon, fastball ranging 88 to 91 miles per hour. The Bluefish have not had a whole lot of experience against Gordon. Last year, the squad did not face him all too often when Bridgeport smacked around Somerset in the season series. The Bluefish and Revolution have been exchanging wins almost on a separate basis. Bluefish have lost almost every single one at their home ballpark. The Bluefish have won almost every single one on the road. 4 out of 6 is a solid mark as the first batter steps up to the plate in Edgardo Baez. He is followed by Eddie Rogers and Prentice Redmond 1, 2, and 3 in the order. Baez, the left fielder today. No reason why Kennard Jones is not standing in left field. Perhaps it is a sore shoulder. We will find out tomorrow because Jones had been playing for quite some time. The first pitch on its way from the lefty is a fastball outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Tried to get in touch with the manager and many other people, and no comment would be uttered about Jones. The 1-0, fastball inside, 2 balls and no strikes. The infield defense for the Revolution, Ramon Castro at third base, Danny Gonzalez is at short, Andres Perez at second, and Chris Nowak at first. Travis Scott is behind home plate. From left to right in the outfield, Brandon Hoffman, Scott Grimes, Jeff Fiorentino. Pitch is served high in the air to deep left. Moving back is Hoffman. He's nearing the track. He's at the wall. That ball is gone. Solo shot. Brandon Hoffman just let it go through the left center field and just went towards the merry-go-round. Edgardo Baez goes boom. It's 1-0 Bridgeport on top. That is his first home run. As a member of the Fish, he had been struggling for a while, and now he is beginning to hit. 3 hits in his past 6 at-bats, as the next batter steps up to the plate in Eddie Rogers. The shortstop had been performing quite well since he had been instructed by Shea Hillenbrand and a few others. He's been getting some assistance, but it's all about execution at the plate. Rogers has been implementing certain lessons as the pitch is stroked down the right field line, foul out of play, 0-1. The Bluefish have scored so many runs in their victories. Last night, perfect example of that, scoring 8 times against the Revolution pitching staff. Before that, they had scored no fewer than 9 runs in their other 4 victories. The 0-1 on its way from Gordon to Eddie Rogers. The shortstop looks in. The pitch is sent high in the air to the left side of the infield. Danny Gonzalez moves forward, has room, and makes the play for out number 1 on P6. Bluefish offense has pushed across 62 runs in the last 7 games, but 61 of those have come across in the 5 wins. If the Bluefish do not score, not going to win. Seems like a pretty familiar theory. You score, you win. You don't, you don't. Pitch right over the middle, 0-1. It is Prentice Redmond. He's been hitting with a bit more authority of late. He had 3 extra base hits last night, 2 doubles on triples. He sends one high in the air down the left field line, but it travels well out of play, 0-1. Redmond just a hair out in front, just the way that he sent the fly ball last night to left field in the 3rd. Boy, he was about 1/8 of an inch away from the par of the bat, the sweet spot, more towards the end than towards the handle. Pitch served in the air to right field. Sprinting forward, but being called off was the right fielder Jeff Fiorentino as Lou Rodriguez makes the play. Or is it Lou Rodriguez? It's Andres Perez at second base making the play. 2 outs. We have not seen too much of Andres Perez this year. At the start of the season, that's where he was playing, second base. His defense was exposed a little bit. Bridgeport, part of the reason why the Bluefish did not bring him back is because they would like to be able to give many of their players a half a day off by playing the DH spot. As the left-hander releases, the pitch settles low. 1 ball, no strikes. Other injuries for the Bluefish include Elliot Ayala. And as long as he's unable to play defense, the Bluefish cannot find a spot for him because Shea Hillenbrand has been out there every day. Fastball turned outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Ayala had a 10-game hitting streak going on. And now he must wait there as the Bluefish hope that his arm continues to strengthen. Next pitch, jam shot foul to the left side. Nice snag by the Bluefish's James Simmons. 2 balls, 1 strike. Brock Peterson, an Atlantic League best, 18 home runs. One of the better run producers as well. One of the highest slugging percentages in the league. Next pitch, drilled foul. Left field line, out of play. Gordon does not seem to have intimidating stuff. That pitch clocked at 77, but most of his off-speed delivery. Fastball over the middle, strike 3. Peterson knew it, and that retires the side. But a solo drive for Edgardo Baez, his first with the Bluefish. Bridgeport has a 1-0 lead at the end of the half. Stay tuned, you're listening to Bluefish Baseball on BridgeportBluefish.com.
Shark tooth, screwdriver, skeleton key, golf tee from the golf trip that you never went golfing on, grill fork, tuning fork, fork, the lucky fishing lure you snagged Alan with. Sorry, Alan. Drumsticks, chopsticks from the place you met that Dallas-based flight attendant. A motel key. Let's not talk about the motel key. A spark plug, a domino, a house key. How do these things make Miller Lite from a can even better? Find out May 2012. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility. Miller Lite wants you to win the greatest weekend that never happened. The ultimate Vegas weekend for you and a buddy. Just collect Miller Lite taste points for your chance to win one of 100 Vegas trips being given away this summer for the big weekend. So grab Miller Lite and seize the summer at tastepoints.com. It's that easy, and it never happened. It's Miller time. No purchase necessary. Open to legal U.S. residents 21 or older. Void in California and where prohibited. Sweepstakes begins 5/1/12 and ends 8/1/12. For details, how to enter, and complete official rules, go to tastepoints.com. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
Serafini's dream was realized. He was born to run all the time. And the one pitching feeling he has that's confident is his ability to record outs. As you can hear, the cannon shoot out from right center field. It delivered a huge blast out in right center field. It could easily make someone deaf, but it is part of tradition to honor the matters that took place, the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, as there is actually on the video board a memory from Miracle and a few other hockey venues with the United States taking out the Soviet Union. And one hitter that's hoping to take down Dan Serafini is Brandon Hoffman. The Revolution have desperately missed his services. He had to miss 6 games. His wife just recently accepted the position at the University of Dayton as the cross-country coach. That's why he's been out. .319 hitter on the year. The first pitch is served in the air to center field. James Simmons, first instinct was to drift forward towards right center. Then he collapses on the ball in left center to make the catch for out number 1. An F8 on the score sheet. It's going to take a little time for Hoffman to get back into the swing of things. If a player is not produced in 6-7 days, no matter how many cuts a batter might take in the cage, it's not the same as live pitching. Hoffman may have a little bit easier time, though, because the one element that he possesses that most don't is speed. He will not go into a long slump as long as he's able to bunt to the left and to the right side. Scott Grimes moves forward. The center fielder, former co-MVP in the Atlantic League, and one of the best players over the last few years in independent baseball, takes a first pitch strike on the outside corner 0-1. Part of baseball All-American team for the independent ranks. Back in 08 in the Can-Am League with the Worcester Tornadoes, teammate of Chuck Giralman. The two of them bolted for here in York after a couple of seasons. Pitches right on the middle of the plate toward the knees, 0-2. Grimes, after he had performed well in many other independent leagues, was granted a chance to get to the affiliated ranks. He performed in short season A with the New York Mets, but at that point, he just could not make it anywhere else. He was just batting a hair less than .230. The 0-2, curveball up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Mets wanted to see what he could do, and it was just unfortunate for him. He has grown and matured over the last few years to become a very good hitter. Grimes just waiting as stands with an even approach. The next toss is lifted in the air, foul down the right field line. A ball and 2 strikes. Let's take a quick look at the Bluefish defense. Edgardo Baez for the second straight night is in left field. James Simmons is in center, and Prentice Redmond over in right field. From right to left in the infield, Brock Peterson, Luis Figueroa, Eddie Rogers, Luis Lopez, and Luis Rodriguez stationed behind home plate. Yesterday had the day off. Angel Flores replaced him, went 1 for 4 in the process. 1 ball, 2 strikes from Serafini to the right-handed hitting Grimes. Waggles the bat before he makes his way through. The left-hander delivers. Another pop-up foul out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The only run accounted by the bat of Edgardo Baez. A blast to left center field, allowing the Bluefish to take a 1-0 lead in the early going. Bluefish after tonight will be heading to Lancaster, Pennsylvania to take on the Barnstormers. It's less than a half an hour from the ballpark. It was a beautiful setup for the Bluefish. The 1-2 curveball, bounce on the ground in the shortstop third base hole. Eddie Rogers bluffs throwing the ball as Grimes has too much speed. It's an infield single for Grimes. It's almost as if you have 2 ways of going. And the base and Luis Lopez opted not to get to the ball. He could not get there. And Eddie Rogers was a little bit late getting to the ball because it was his reach to the right. Rogers has great range over the shortstop position. Sometimes it's just not possible for him to catch up to it. Ramon Castro moves forward. The wind driving out towards left and left center field as Castro calls for time. The wind tends to pick up anywhere when there is a thunderstorm on the horizon ahead of what appears to be another cold front after one swept right through the region. Caused all kinds of rain up and down the East Coast. The 1-out pitch slapped. Foul ball down the right field line. Boy, it was a tough call to make because the first base umpire, Matt Hensel, nearly got clocked with the ball. But the difference is he's about 5 feet behind the first base bag and in foul ground. If he had to avoid the baseball and he was in foul ground and it went as much of a screamer as possible, it went on that kind of course, he must have made the right call. Chase Edmondson is behind home plate, and Hank Himonen is between first and second. He's the third base umpire for today. Castro leans in. He's batting .297 on the year. The fastball turns inside. Count 1 ball, 1 strike. He's at 88 miles per hour at this point. The Bluefish have that 1-0 lead on 1 hit. 1 hit for the Revolution. Bridgeport in their teal uniforms. York revealing their new unis this year, or the newer style uniforms. Throw to first, not in time. Serafini decided not to go after Castro at this point. More like the Cal Golden Bears uniforms. The bright yellow with the navy blue. Revolution across the chest on a diagonal. Somewhat of script as the throw to first is not in time. Remember when the grade school teacher asked us to practice script rather than in straight writing, straight letter. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 man out. Serafini waits. Infield playing for the double play. Right side, pitch. Fastball planted low, 2-1. There were not too many games taking place in Major League Baseball today, even though it is a travel day for many of the teams. Some of them starting out series tonight, including the Yankees in Oakland. The 2-1 fastball drifts outside 3-1. And then there is also the Open Championships, which is taking place, or has taken place, and everyone is off the course. Most people seem to be shooting very well, including Rory McIlroy. Tiger Woods, one of the top players in the world for another time. Castro grounds the second, scooped up by Figueroa, flips the second one onto first. Nice play by Peterson on the other side. It is a 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. The throw from Figueroa is a little low.
America's pastime. Summer's here and it feels pretty nice. Baseball and hot dogs and refreshment on ice. Some games are early, some are at night, but there's always a beer man with ice-cold Coors Light. He's the most reliable player in the game. All it takes is calling his name, so even if your team doesn't hit any dingers, you'll have frost-brewed refreshment at the tips of your fingers. Thank you.
Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
I call this one best girlfriend ever. It had been a long day and an even longer week, so I headed toward the kitchen, refreshment I did seek. But after swinging open the fridge, I saw the most horrific sight. Not a single cold beverage, not a single Coors Light. I grabbed my keys, it was time to hit the store, but stopped when I heard a knock at the door. It was my girlfriend, bearing gifts of Coors Light. Best girlfriend ever? You got that right.
Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Meet Ice Cube.
What's up?
Ice Cube is cold.
No, the coldest.
But one thing just might be colder.
Man, it better not be.
Coors Light has a new 2-stage cold-activated label that not only tells you when your beer is cold, but super cold.
Yeah, I know, super cold. It threw snow on me last time.
It snowed on you?
You better check yourself.
Ice Cube is cold, but Coors Light is super cold. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Behind everything you're searching for is something you're actually looking for. When you flip through the real yellow pages for a plumber, you're actually looking to reclaim your home from a renegade faucet. It's not just getting directions to a tailor with YP.com. It's looking your best for an interview. And it's more than finding a mechanic with YP.com on your mobile. It's getting your road trip back on track. Whatever it might be, there are more ways to search and more ways to find exactly what you're looking for with the real yellow pages, YP.com, and YP.com on your mobile, only from AT&T.
The Bluefish Broadcast Network continues to the top half of the second inning. Bridgeport with that 1-0 lead, and one player that is approaching more storied history is Luis Lopez. He is just 6 hits away from 2,100 in his career as he takes a first pitch strike down the middle, 0-1. 281 on the year. He's driven in 42 runs for an offense that continues to get better and better as the season progresses. They got off to a great start. It has taken a lull before coming back. Pitch chopped on the ground, foul to the third base side. Count at 0-2. Lopez never feels afraid to swing the bat 0-2. He says he even feels more confident because most of the pitchers are trying to throw the ball outside. And some of those heaters that wind up outside or some of those breaking balls stay up. Feels like you get a pitch for him to drive. Fastball low and away, 1-2. A solid waste pitch for Gordon, but Lopez is not one of the types who will be fooled by that. He sees and he hits the 1-2. Grounded foul on a curve. Count remains at a ball and 2 strikes. All Lopez knew he had to do was spoil it. Lopez, one of the team's leaders in multiple hit games. And that statistic identifies the consistency with which he's been able to perform. The next toss is inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. He has picked up 20 multiple hit games, tied for second with Brock Peterson. Kennard Jones, who's been out of the lineup each of the last couple of games, is number 1. The 2-2 slides low, 3 balls, 2 strikes. A tantalizing pitch to take, but Lopez, like many ball players, have 20/20 or better vision than that. If it winds up in the strike zone, there's nothing they can do anyhow. The 3-2, grounded towards third. Shifting to his right, Castro takes his time and throws to first, 1 away. A 5-3 on the putout for Lopez. It springs Luis Rodriguez to the dish. During the Lancaster series, the Revolution had all kinds of problems scoring. It was because the pitching of the Barnstormers was that great. The other part might be coming true too. Perhaps the Revolution have hit a wall. Many teams tend to do that. Revolution lost last night's game. Before that, had lost 6 of their previous 7. Pitch, line drive, one hop, nearly ate up Castro, but he gathers and throws to first, 2 away. It was a humpback line drive that was approaching the upper part of his thigh on that one hop. He was able to gather and fire a dart to Chris Nowak. 2 away on another 5-3. Shea Hillenbrand hoping to climb up the hill one more time. He climbed up the ladder last time and deposited a 3-run shot, which opened up the game. It was a 3-2 score in the 6th. He made it 6-2. 2-out toss, change up over the outside corner, 0-1. 5 straight batters have been retired by Gordon since the leadoff home run by Edgardo Baez to left center field. Many other ballparks that probably would not have gone. Next toss slides outside, may have confused Scott as it may have glanced him on the thigh. The home plate umpire, Chase Edmondson, immediately calling for help from the trainer for the York Revolution. Boy, it can be a tough time for anybody out there. But it is especially tough if you get hit and eventually put back, as Travis Scott just had to walk around before he said, forget about it, I'm ready to go. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 men out. Toss, Hillenbrand, who swings through. Another change up, a ball and 2 strikes. He says that his approach is twice what it was. But it's all about results. Yesterday, Hillenbrand provided those results. And today he's hoping to do the same thing. The 1-2, swung on and driven down the left field line, but veers foul. Gordon left a fastball towards the inside corner of the plate, a little bit further out towards the middle. Hillenbrand at least has himself an extra base hit. Such a powerful swinger. At one point was at 235 pounds. And said that he almost lost all desire to play baseball because of the problems he was facing at home. The 1-2 is sent down the left field line. If it's fair, it's trouble for the Revolution. It is a fair ball. Hillenbrand rounds first and has to stop there. It is a 2-out single for the designated hitter. Hillenbrand is accustomed to seeing the ball off of this type of wall because he grew up with the Red Sox organization. He made it to the big leagues in Boston from 01 to 03. And James Shanks played Brandon Hovman played the ball well. Brandon Hovman played it towards the corner. James Simmons moves forward. He has been scorching hot. 3 home runs this series. His average back up to 282 from where it had been. Next toss, swung on and missed a big cut, 0-1. Not a fastball from Gordon, 76. It's got to be a change. When Simmons is at his best, just like Brock Peterson, just like everybody else, those hitters are able to hit with equal authority to the opposite field as they are pulling the ball. Next toss over the middle, 0-2. Willie Upshaw always preaches about the mechanics based on application with the quadrants of the plate. Inside corner, middle third, outside third. Never change the approach. Left-hander calls for time as Gordon wants to go through the set of signals with Travis Scott for the second time against Simmons. The 0-2 from Gordon. A high chopper towards the right side, angling to his left is Perez. He throws to first and just beats Simmons with the final out of the frame. 1 hit, 1 runner left on, end of an inning and a half. 1-0 Bridgeport on top. You're listening to Bluefish Baseball on BridgeportBluefish.com. Perry Miles will return right after this.
Miller Lite wants you to win the greatest weekend that never happened. The ultimate Vegas weekend for you and a buddy. Just collect Miller Lite taste points for your chance to win one of 100 Vegas trips being given away this summer for the big weekend. So grab Miller Lite and seize the summer at tastepoints.com. It's that easy, and it never happened. It's Miller time. No purchase necessary. Open to legal U.S. residents 21 or older. Void in California and where prohibited. Sweepstakes begins 5/1/12 and ends 8/1/12. For details, how to enter, and complete official rules, go to tastepoints.com. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility. Miller time. Don't check your wrist or follow up with your supervisor, because Miller time has nothing to do with when and everything to do with who.
What's up, Tommy?
Miller Lite is brewed for the guys you're proud to call your brothers, who'll always talk you out of getting that faux hawk and never talk during your backswing. And when you've got your brothers and the light beer that tastes like a beer should, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time.
Great beer, great responsibility. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Behind everything you're searching for is something you're actually looking for. When you search with the real Yellow Pages, you get more than a contractor. You get a whole new curb appeal. It's not just getting directions to a dry cleaner with YP.com. It's rescuing an old favorite from the back of the closet. And it's more than finding a locksmith with YP.com on your mobile. It's getting to sleep in your own bed. Whatever it might be, there are more ways to search and more ways to find exactly what you're looking for with the real Yellow Pages, YP.com, and YP.com on your mobile, only from AT&T.
Bluefish baseball back on the air. Perry Miles here. Dan Serafini working in his second inning of the contest. The skies are cloudy and overcast. There's an expectation of thunderstorms as the Bluefish hoping to have the lead by the time 5 innings goes through. And if the storms don't come by then, obviously the players are going to continue to participate, to perform. At that point, once the thunderstorms make its way to York, it is possible that those showers and storms will be lasting for much of the rest of the time. Right now, the thunderstorm outlook is that some of those cells are near Hagerstown, Maryland, Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, as the first pitch is a fastball up, 1 ball, no strikes. And it is west of Gettysburg, which is still about a half an hour a little southwest of York, not too far away from the area. Andres Perez steps in. He's batting well over 300 this year, as the next toss is a fastball scaling high at 86 miles per hour. 2 balls, no strikes. Perez yesterday reached base once. The day before that, 1 base hit, and Perez had 3 base hits the day before. His average really has not changed a whole lot. He's hovering around 330 in 2012. The 2-0 from Serafini. Lefty versus righty. The pitch floats just a hair high. Serafini wanted that call badly, but he must go back to the mound to try to efficiently throw strikes and command the zone. 3 balls, no strikes. Nobody out in the second. Pitch, fastball. Rotates to the inside corner. 3 balls, 1 strike. Left fielder Edgardo Baez playing deep towards the warning track. Everyone else playing deep as well. Once the Bluefish have taken a lead, it is back to no doubles. The 3-1. Curveball, low ball 4. Andres Perez walks to lead off the frame, and that is the way that some of the rallies got initiated yesterday. It would be a walk followed by a series of hits. And walks can not only mentally fatigue a pitcher, but can physically be demanding on the pitcher, because it's four tosses that don't mean anything as far as results go. Pitchers sometimes would rather have a base hit after pitch 3 and then induce a double play. All about strategy and timing of the hitting. The left-hander Serafini tries to locate one outside, but misses off the corner of Fiorentino, 1-0. He picked up a solo drive yesterday. It was his first home run as a member of the Revolution. Former big leaguer, longtime veteran of the team, steps up, lefty versus lefty. Serafini on the third base side of the rubber as he stares first. The slide step fastball clips the outside corner about belt high. 1 ball, 1 strike. The camera, there's one in center field. There is one located on the first base side, one that's located in the stands to the left of home plate, and there's one that's located right behind. Pitch is grounded past Luis Lopez. He thought he should have had it. Edgardo Baez plays the ball in. We will see how that is scored. It is a base hit, sharply struck baseball, partially altered by Lopez, but it is runners at first and second, nobody out for Chris Nowak. These rallies can be frightening down in the lower Susquehanna Valley, against anybody, really. The difference is, if there is a fly ball hit in this ballpark as opposed to Sugarland, fly ball is not going to leave in Sugarland. Fly ball is not going to leave too often in the ballpark at Harbor Yard. At this venue, a pop-up could result in a home run. The next toss, Nowak takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Nowak has been struggling since coming back from the Mexican League, which is why he has been dropped in the order to reduce the amount of pressure that he faces on a day-to-day basis. Next pitch, curveball. Did he go? Yes, he did, says Hensel. No balls, 2 strikes. And perhaps only having 5 games worth of experience in the Mexican League may have altered his confidence. He was released after he performed in 5 games. Nowak waits. Serafini stares in for the sign and receive. That setup is outside. Pitch grounded towards short. Fielded by Rogers. He throws the second one onto first. Not in time. It gets by Brock Peterson on the bounce. A run scores on the E4. Fielder's choice. E4 to tie the game at 1 as Andres Perez comes to the plate. We will see if that is an earned run, but clearly fielder's choice 6-4 and an E4 allow Perez to go home. Fiorentino eliminated. Nowak moves to second base as there is a great amount of foul territory down the first and third base lines. It almost reminds me of the way that the Oakland Athletics and how their ball field is constructed. With 1 away, James Shanks moves in. The pitch is upstairs, and there is no throw as Nowak just stole third on Serafini without even bothering. That first baseman was 3/4 of the way down by the time the ball got to Rodriguez. Nothing he could do about the stolen base chance. The Bluefish infielders have decided to shift in for Shanks at 261 on the year, 37 ribbies. Pitch, fastball, rotates outside corner, 0-1. We will see if Serafini is able to escape without any further trouble. The 1-1 from the left-hander. Elbows jilted down, the pitch, fastball, sky high, 2-1. Bluefish heading into today with a 4-2 mark. That is the best in the Liberty division for the second half. 3-2 for Camden, Long Island, and Sugarland 3-3. Or rather, Southern Maryland and Camden 3-3, lifted foul. Southern Maryland, Long Island 3-3, Camden 3-2. And Freedom with Lancaster 4-1. Sugarland 3-3, Somerset 2-4, York 1-5. Bluefish have a chance to win this series outright tonight. Question is, will they do so? Serafini deals, pitch, slice foul to the right. The other qualms that the Bluefish have is the pitchers have not been able to put away some of the York batters. A testament to the patience that the Revolution hitters possess at bat by at bat. York, Pennsylvania, probably about an hour away from getting clocked with the storms. They are moving at a rapid pace, closing in on Chambersburg. Gettysburg is the next town, and Weaglestown, followed by York. And sure, at that point, the Bluefish and the Revolution will be in the delays. The pitch is grounded, base hit. No delay there. Into right field, James Shanks delivers an RBI single. It is a 2-1 York lead. That was a great piece of hitting by Shanks. Did not try to do too much with the baseball. Travis Scott moves forward with one punch because Serafini is always standing towards the third base side of the rubber. So the left-handed batter can easily see the ball, relies on stuff, curveball, lifts high, 1 ball and no strikes. Always relying on his sleek and smooth motion as he releases. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 man out. Shanks is a fast guy over at first for stolen bases, as the next toss is a fastball low. 2 balls, no strikes. Not too many stolen bases in general for the Revolution, but just 1 stolen base. In years past, the corner outfielder would always try to make his way through. Steal 1 base, steal another. Use timing to his advantage. Travis Scott pounds one foul down the left field line as it angles out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike. So much action today in the world of baseball. It is the travel day, but many teams do not have today off. The Yankees do not. They traveled to the West Coast yesterday. The Mets had their travel day. They salvaged the game against the Nationals. Pitch swung on and foul tipped at the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The other part is, of course, there's much to be had in the Atlantic League. Travis Scott moves forward. Was brought in by Andy Etchebarren to replace Octavio Martinez, who became an all-star for the Skeeters. The 2-2. Chopped high on the ground, base hit through the box. Moving towards third, James Shanks. He'll be in there sliding. Runners at the corners with 1 man out for Danny Gonzalez. The Revolution bats were only going to stay calm for so long. Revolution has made droughts seem expedient. Left-hander talks to the mound. Also having a conversation with Louis Rodriguez about location. He induced the ground ball, could have been a double play, because of sometimes how much this grass acts and how fast the grass can act during the summertime, especially when the heat is on the way that it is. It can be a nightmare for pitchers to handle, especially Serafini's more of a ground ball pitcher. He does not strike too many batters out these days. Not quite what it used to be. The 1 out slide step pitch rotates inside 1-0. With the release of Dumas Garcia, it opened up the spot for Garetti. And I'm sure the Revolution, if they continue to struggle with their pitching, they may decide to go in a different direction. As a curveball lands low, 2 balls, no strikes. The Revolution, if the playoffs were to end today, would not be in there. Neither would the Bluefish. Go figure, the 2010 participants in the Atlantic League Championship Series would not be represented in the playoffs. Even during Somerset's long run of of success as the next toss lands on the outside corner. 2 balls, 1 strike. Even Somerset's success, the years that the team did not win, they made it to the postseason. Danny Gonzalez, a road warrior last year. Bluefish saw plenty of him a year ago. Originally drafted by the Philadelphia Phillies as he takes a big rip and fouls it to the right. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 12th pro season, 6th in the Atlantic League. He's been playing in the Atlantic League since the inception of the Lancaster Barnstormers back in 2005. Every time during batting practice, the players apply a drill, especially when they're struggling the way that they had against Lancaster. War of the Roses belonged to Lancaster this time. Pitches inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The Barnstormers swept the Revolution and now lead that series. Gonzalez, familiar with the War of the Roses series. It dates back since York was invented. And it is one of the best, if not the best, rivalries in all baseball. Regardless of major league, minor league, or in some cases independent. 3-2. High drive to right center field, pretty well struck. James Simmons trying to get there, and he makes the catch in right center. Tagging and coming to the plate is James Shanks. It is an RBI sacrifice fly for Danny Gonzalez, and the Bluefish now trail by a score of 3-1. Both Chris Nowak, James Shanks have come to the plate this inning, along with Andres Perez, in order for the Bluefish to reap the benefits of holding down the opposition to a degree. Bridgeport needs to hold this team down and counter with a couple of runs of their own. Try to tip the scales. Left-hander throws to first, not in time. Chris Nowak is not a fast base runner, yet he was able to steal third base without a problem, which is why Serafini is locked in on trying to keep Travis Scott over at first. Pitch fired over the inside corner. It was a curve, 0-1. Luis Lopez at third base. He's at the lip of the infield grass. First baseman Brock Peterson over there. The next toss swung on, missed for a strike, 0-2. Might have been able to hear a little contact, but Serafini's had anything but success in this frame. And there's a reason why Bluefish would like to get him 5-6 innings, because the bullpen has been lights out. Where Julio suffered the injury, Paul Segura as well. Pitches sent to the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And this problem stems from the hot weather, which many of the players may not be accustomed to over a long period of time. Perhaps not stretching quite the way that they had used to. The 1-2 throw to first is not in time. A laundry list of injuries to go down for the Bluefish this season. Right after Condolome left Bridgeport for Gwinnett and the Braves to AAA because he signed with the team, he tore his ACL. Pitch swung on and missed, strike 3. Down hacking Brandon Hovman, but the Revolution come up with 3 runs on 3 base hits. 1 runner left on. End of 2. Bridgeport down 3-1. You're listening to Bluefish Baseball on BridgeportBluefish.com. We'll be right back.
We believe that sharing a pitcher of our great-tasting draft beer will bring friends together for a good time. And good is way better than bad. No one reminisces about the bad old days. If your guess is as bad as mine, then we're a couple of idiot faces. So far, so bad? Turn that frown upside down, grumpy pants. So why have a bad time when you could have a good time with a pitcher of Miller Lite draft beer? Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility. At Miller Lite, we know there's only one thing baseball fans love as much as great Pilsner taste, and that's rooting for the home team. Because home is way better than away. Away is not where the heart is. Bringing away the bacon? Why? Bacon is delicious. Away is where you hang your hat? You should be hung up by your underpanties. So why root for the away team when you can root for the home team? With a great Pilsner taste of Miller Lite. Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
Shark tooth, screwdriver, golf tee from the golf trip that you never went golfing on, grill fork, tuning fork, fork, drumsticks, a motel key. Let's not talk about the motel key. Needle nose pliers, a spark plug, a domino, a house key. There's lots of things you can use to open the new Miller Lite Punch Top can, but you'll always get the same thing. A smooth pour with less glug. However you punch it, it's Miller time. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
Bridgeport Bluefish baseball returns on the air. Derek Gordon on the hill for a few more tosses. James Simmons recorded the final out of the second inning for the Bluefish, but after the Bluefish did not score in the second inning, York stormed right back, and they revolutionized this team. 3-1 the score. They revolutionized this game with a couple of hits. No extra base hits, but so much little ball taking place. Singles and sacrifice flies. Fielder's choice ground balls. In the end, if Eddie Rogers was able to turn the double play, it is possible that the Bluefish would have only given up 1 run instead of the 3. The sacrifice fly would have been the final out of the frame, but the Bluefish are now down 3-1. Statistical matters are unimportant at this juncture for whether pitcher be charged with 1 earned run or 3 earned runs. Point is, Bridgeport has a little more work to do, and they'll try to start with Luis Figueroa, who shows bunt, then pulls away. It's called a strike on the heater, outside 0-1. Luis Figueroa, former big leaguer. Most of the players on each of these teams, former minimum double-A, pitches inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Revolution have 1 player who reached either A, baseball, as the next toss floats low. 2 balls, 1 strike. They have 1 A-ball player in the outfield. That is Scott Grimes. 1 A-plus baseball player, high A, Andres Perez. They have 1 rookie pitcher, Omar Javier, as the next toss waves to the outside. And Ricardo Gomez, who's had A-ball experience. That's 4 players out of the 25-man roster. The 2-2, fastball juts inside, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Luis Figueroa, 222 in the early going, a homer and 6 ribbies. Decent amount of pop considering that he does not look to be that kind of guy. Slap the ball around a little bit. 3-2, a high pop to shallow left field. Danny Gonzalez makes the plays. He moves behind Ramon Castro, about 10 steps behind the lip of the outfield grass, 1 away. P6 on the score sheet. Ricardo Baez moves forward. Baez homered in the first inning. Another homer would bring the road squad within 1. Castro about 15 feet away from the third base bag. Nowak a little bit further away from the right side of the foul line. Pitch right on the outside corner, 0-1. Wind beginning to pick up more so. Toss. 1 strike. Gordon has not pitched this long in a while. Served away, balls in the street. He provided, but he was lack of success. Gary Gaetti tried to breed confidence in him as the pitch is sent over to third. Flagged down by Castro. The throw is in plenty of time to retire Edgardo Baez. 2 away on the 5-3 for Eddie Rogers.
The shortstop, number 24, Eddie Rogers.
shortstop has a hitting streak going. Many of the Bluefish players had their hitting streaks broken in the contest, which York won 10-0. Well, Rogers is one of them that kept it going. 7-game hitting streak with 12 hits and 31 ABs. The next toss, curveball, connects with the outside corner, 0-1. The longest hitting streak for the Fish up to date, 10 games. But Elliot Ayala has been hurt with a shoulder problem. The 0-1 dances inside on a breaking pitch. 0-1. Almost like the Fred Astaire, the way that he used to be, gliding through the strike zone. Next toss, line drive, foul down the left field line. Out of play, a ball and 2 strikes. One of the most famous people. And Eddie Rogers, when he tries to jut out of the way, almost seems to be on his tippy toes like a ballet dancer. Just out there, having some fun. The next toss, Rogers sends a pop to the shortstop, Danny Gonzalez, who did not have to move much and take the play for the final out of the frame, a P6 on the score sheet, a 1-2-3, the first one of the game for Derek Gordon. He has retired his last 4 batters. At the end of 2.5, Bridgeport down by a score of 3-1. Stay tuned. You're listening to Bluefish Baseball on BridgeportBluefish.com.
Meet Ice Cube.
What's up?
Ice Cube is cold.
No, the coldest.
But one thing just might be colder.
Man, it better not be.
Coors Light has a new 2-stage cold-activated label that not only tells you when your beer is cold, but super cold.
Yeah, I know, super cold. Snow on me last time.
It snowed on you?
You better check yourself.
Ice Cube is cold, but Coors Light is super cold. Frost brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Behind everything you're searching for is something you're actually looking for. When you flip through the real yellow pages for a plumber, you're actually looking to reclaim your home from a renegade faucet. It's not just getting directions to a tailor with YP.com. It's looking your best for an interview. And it's more than finding a mechanic with YP.com on your mobile. It's getting your road trip back on track. Whatever it might be, there are more ways to search and more ways to find exactly what you're looking for with the real yellow pages, YP.com, and YP.com on your mobile, only from AT&T. Behind everything you're searching for is something you're actually looking for. When you search with the real yellow pages, you get more than a contractor. You get a whole new curb appeal. It's not just getting directions to a dry cleaner with YP.com. It's rescuing an old favorite from the back of the closet. And it's more than finding a locksmith with YP.com on your mobile. It's getting to sleep in your own bed. Whatever it might be, there are more ways to search and more ways to find exactly what you're looking for with the real yellow pages, YP.com, and YP.com on your mobile, only from AT&T.
A sizzling, succulent filet mignon, scrumptious salmon Florentine, savory twin grilled pork chops. Getting hungry? Your table awaits at the Park City Grill, Fairfield County's elegant new dining spot in the beautifully renovated Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Comfortable, warm, and inviting. Park City Grill offers a world-class dining experience at reasonable prices. Come to the Park City Grill, 1070 Main Street in the Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Take I-95 exit 27A to exit 2. Plenty of free, secure parking.
Baseball legend Henry Aaron.
The Bluefish Broadcast Network is back. Perry Miles here. 3-1 score that Serafini has to work through. Scott Grimes moves forward as it is a lefty versus a righty. First pitch on its way from Serafini. Drops the glove down, lifts it back up. The curveball lands on the outside corner, 0-1. As the pitchers get more experience, they also get more exposure. Batters are able to adjust. Scott Grimes basically has been adjusted to by opposing pitchers. Next toss dives to the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike, which is why his batting average has faltered significantly. At 1.300 plus, co-MVP, scored more than 130 runs in a season, Atlantic League record. The 1-1 from Serafini, drops the glove down, lifts it up. The pitch, fouled off the mask. Appeared to hit the catcher's mask and the umpire's mask. What a pinball effect. A ball in 2 strikes. Grimes hits the Bluefish relatively well, but it seems to be every other team, especially Lancaster, that he just is unable to perform as well. as we may have seen a flash of lightning out there. The curveball is sent high in the air to center. James Simmons backpedals to his left and then moves forward to make the play. One out in the frame on the F8, and we start to see the wind, a little bit more of a breeze picking up at the venue. York is hoping to complete 5 innings before this deluge comes in. That's what it is going to be. If you update the map even more so, there was a thunderstorm out west, but those storms could easily maintain its strength, especially in hot areas. Can Serafini maintain his heat? He pours a strike over the outside corner. 0-1. Ramon Castro grounded into a 4-6-3 double play. And it's definitely coming. It's just a question of when. At this juncture, all kinds of cells pitched, lifted high in the air, foul down the right field line. No balls and 2 strikes. The Storms are just about to approach Gettysburg. You can see the lightning flash in the air a little bit, coming closer and closer. And how much longer will the Storm stay off to the west? And based on weather.com, will it engulf the area? It's what they were expecting to do. Castro backs off. Light fixtures are on from Sovereign Bank Stadium. Not an afternoon game anymore. It's to the early evening. Castro stands in. The next toss from Serafini. Curveball bounced on the ground to second. Flipping to first, Luis Figueroa to Brock Peterson for out number 2. A 4-3 put out. Andres Perez tries to stick in his 2 cents. A walk and a run scored this evening. It was his walk that jump-started, ignited this Revs offense. A walk, a single, a fielder's choice, and an error. RBI Shanks, Travis Scott single, and Gonzalez with a sac fly. It's not been anything pretty the way the grand slam would be, or a 3-run home run. Many fans looking for that souvenir baseball. Pitch popped up right side of the outfield. Luis Figueroa, the second baseman, closes the glove on the ball for the final out of the inning. A 1-2-3 frame for Serafini and the Bluefish at the end of 3. The Bluefish trail 3-1. You're listening to Perry Miles on BridgeportBluefish.com. We'll be right back after these words from our local sponsors. Stay tuned, my friends.
A sizzling, succulent filet mignon, scrumptious salmon Florentine, savory twin grilled pork chops. Getting hungry? Your table awaits at the Park City Grill, Fairfield County's elegant new dining spot in the beautifully renovated Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Comfortable, warm, and inviting. Park City Grill offers a world-class dining experience at reasonable prices. Come to the Park City Grill, 1070 Main Street in the Bridgeport Holiday Inn. Take I-95 exit 27A to exit 2. Plenty of free, secure parking.
Baseball legend Henry Aaron reflects on his Hall of Fame legacy.
I think that since I played for the public, they need to share what I did in my life as far as baseball. It's the proudest moment of my life to give everything to the Hall of Fame. I often tell people they need to get and see it. There is no other building in the world like the Hall of Fame in baseball.
Celebrate the game. Celebrate the legacy. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Bridgeport Bluefish baseball returns for inning number 4. The Bluefish trailing 3-1. The Revolution and Bluefish players know what is approaching the area. 7:36. Maximum amount of time that these teams have is an hour before the rainstorms the deluges enter the area. The first pitch from Derek Gordon is a slap foul to the right, 0-1. It would behoove the Bluefish to draw as many pitches out of Gordon to extend these innings as long as possible, score a few runs, because then York will have to try to attack and pursue or even try to stall a little bit as the 0-1 is on its way. Swung on and served in the air to deep left. Going back to Hoffman, he's entered the track, is at the wall. That ball is off the wall. It was off the lower part of the wall. Hoffman could not catch up to it. It is a leadoff double for Prentice Redmond. He continues his smacking. Ripped 2 doubles and a triple yesterday. Another double for Redmond. Sets up BP Brock Peterson. He's hitting the ball as hard as if he was in batting practice. Smoking it at all fields. Strikeout victim in the first, though, as Peterson stands in. At one point he was leading the Bluefish in batting average. It dropped a little bit because of yesterday's performance. Next toss curveball sent on the inside corner, 0-1. The curveball is the one pitch that Peterson is having a little bit more trouble with. Peterson yesterday reached base twice, 2 walks, but he was 0 for 3. The 0-1. Curveball grounded to the left side. Gonzalez gets on a knee, gets back up, looks at the runner at second, and fires to first. 6-3 on the put out to Brock Peterson for Luis Lopez. Peterson has a little bit of a slide going. 0 for 5. As the Revs have figured out one of Peterson's tendencies. And like any YouTube video, these scouting reports go viral. Brock Peterson has shown a tendency to not hit the curveball with as much aptitude as perhaps the slider or the fastball. Many of the batters are trying to hit mistakes. 1 out pump fake to home plate as Gordon tried to make his way to second. Nobody was there. Lopez 0 for 1. He's 6 hits shy. 2,100 on his career. Lefty versus righty. The pitch smoked foul down the right field line. You could tell the belligerent nature with which Lopez swung the bat. He fought every ounce of energy at that point. We thank everybody for tuning in to the Bluefish broadcast tonight. Bridgeport will be heading a little bit further east after the game. Pitch grounded towards the middle, snagged by the shortstop. Gonzalez takes his time and throws to first. Scooped up by Noah for out number 2. Lopez, perhaps earlier in his career, may have been able to beat that one out. Does not quite have the same kind of speed that he once did when growing up in the big leagues. Prentice Redmond shifts his way to third base for Luis Rodriguez. And apparently he is the pizza man, the K-man. Wind continuing to increase in intensity. And usually wind direction tells you everything about where a storm is coming from. Based on this angle, it's west and northwest. Toss, inside, and low, 1-0. The Bluefish would be thankful if they were to score a run to inch closer. They will need at least 2 more runs in order to catch up. Pitch, grounded foul to the third base side. Terry McGriff had to avoid the ball. Fans would love to have free breadsticks, but Luis Rodriguez wants to prevent that. He has intentions of bringing the Bluefish to within a run or even tying the game. 1-1. Curveball around the outside corner. 2-1. Temperature feels so much nicer with the breeze out there. Temperature is cool. At one point it was 89 degrees. 2-1, grounded foul to the third base side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Much cooler than yesterday, by the way. yesterday at the field it was 103 degrees. Then the thunderstorms came by, a series of downpours that dropped the temperatures 25 degrees. And today that might happen too. It might drop another 20. The 2-2 slap down the right field line, fouls, sent screaming off the seats. For fans out there who are tuning in, if you decide to go to any baseball game, literally high school, the pros, the big leagues, make sure you bring your glove. Make sure you're watching the game at all times. The baseball or the bat could go flying in any direction. We always preach safety. 2-2, another foul ball. Rodriguez spoils as he puts a big grimace on. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at third base is Prentice Redmond. Takes a modest lead off the bag. The lefty deals. Grounded towards short. Gonzalez fields and throws to first in time to retire the side. Gonzalez was tested 3 times. He executed 3 times. The Bluefish do not score at the end of 3.5. Bridgeport down by a count of 3-1. You're listening to Bluefish Baseball on BridgeportBluefish.com.
When you choose a great tasting Miller Lite, you're choosing on taste. And that's the right choice, not the wrong choice, because right is way better than wrong. You don't try to do the wrong thing. Got a wrong hand man? I've got a cousin named Randall with clammy hands. The customer's always wrong? Well, that explains the waiter's creepy grin as I ate my toast. 2 wrongs do make a wrong. So make the right choice and choose on taste. Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
Why do we love baseball? Is it the uniforms, the pace of the game, the mascots? Could be. Or could it be that what we really love is that baseball reminds us how we can all come out ahead when we work together, just like a good team? At Prudential Annuities, we understand that when everyone works together, good things can happen. That's why each year we uphold a commitment to helping charitable causes in our community by pitching in financial resources and by enabling Prudential Annuities employees to help others through volunteer work. From conducting mentoring programs and helping homeless shelters to supporting health awareness and food banks, Prudential Annuities is more than a big company in Fairfield County. We're a big part of the community, too. Prudential Annuities, going to bat for the community.
The Prudential Insurance Company of America, Newark, New Jersey, and its affiliates. Prudential Annuities is a business of Prudential Financial, Inc.
The Bluefish Broadcast Network is back. Perry Miles here. The weather conditions are deteriorating as we speak. At some point, we will have to go inside rather than outside as the storms make their way to the ball field, and there will be plenty of rain. There's not too much of a cover as the Bluefish would like to score a couple of runs the next inning, but first they need to get these 3 batters out. First with Jeff Fiorentino. He takes a stab at a first pitch outside and sends it foul, 0-1. Fiorentino, Chris Nowak, James Shanks, 5, 6, and 7 in the order for the Revolution. Serafini puts his back leg forward, brings it back. The pitch right on the outside corner, 0-2. Revolution understand that. They'd like to get their pitcher, Derek Gordon, out for one more inning, so that way this game can be made official. The next toss, fastball in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Serafini waits. Lopez pounding the glove at third. He's a couple feet off the bag. The 1-2. Fastball elevated. 2 balls, 2 strikes. new style. Looks like the Cal Golden Bears. 2-2. Curveball lifted foul down the left field line at play. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fiorentino has reached base at least twice in every game in this series. The difference is that he's batting lower in the order this time around. Try to drive in some more runs. The Revs not seen too much run scoring. They've had to mix and match the lineup. They've even placed Scott Grimes hitting 8th and 7 at points. Pitch poked foul to the left side as Fiorentino stays alive. Longtime manager of the York Revolution, Andy Etchebarren, in his 3rd season with the team. A couple of titles, had an opportunity to catch the likes of Jim Palmer, and the one element that he always focused on was catcher needs to have some input. Well, Luis Rodriguez is one of the coaches on the team, and he's catching another coach's offering. That's Dan Serafini, the pitcher. 2-2. Slap foul to the left. He always wanted to remain status quo, so that way the pitcher would not control 100% of the way that the game was flowing. It was always about authority at that point. He was involved with World Series appearances for the Baltimore Orioles. He was a longtime player, eventually became a coach at the highest of levels. The 2-2 low and away, 3 balls, 2 strikes with the Baltimore Orioles. Was a hitting coach for quite some time during the years when the Orioles were making it to the playoffs almost perennially. They took on the Yankees but ran into a brick wall. Yankees were stellar back then and always found ways to beat Armando Benitez and company. 3-2, a high drive, angling towards left center field. Chris Simmons had a late break, but he catches up and corrals. 1 away on the F8 for Chris Nowak. Nowak, a fielder's choice, 6-4 and E4 on his resume. Bluefish really have one more inning. Try to make this comeback, maybe 2 at most. The radar continues to look bleaker and bleaker. 7:40, which was about 9 minutes ago. Huge set of thunderstorms to the west of Gettysburg. And it's probably rolling right through there as we speak. Cloudy conditions at the venue by the time that the rain gets. The fans did a whole bunch of oohs and ahs. The fastball goes away, 1-0. Probably talking about the lightning right behind the stadium or even to the left of the stadium. Continues to whip up some winds too. Fans that were originally sitting on their beach towels in the grassy knoll in right center field. Some of them have evacuated. 1-0. Outside 2-0. Many of them were troopers, though. Just loving themselves out there. Having themselves a little picnic activity. Of course, the picnic tables in the picnic area is down the right field line with the pyramid tents, or the semblance of a pyramid tent. Next toss is low and away, 3-0. The way that the Egyptian pyramids were constructed, except no cinder blocks there. In right field, cinder blocks and old forms of building materials. Next pitch serves high in the air to left field, well out of play. Chris Nowak was given the green light and he sent it 3 miles high. Of course, it's hyperbole. But that he tried to take a pitch about a foot inside and try to drive it fair. There was an article, a feature story from ESPN regarding that. The fastball is a backdoor on the inside edge. 3-2, Nowak knew it. The excess movement allows for pitchers to get the hitters to think more. The 3-2, fastball away, ball 4. Nowak works the walk. First time that the home team has had a base runner since the 2nd inning. James Shank steps up. An RBI single for Shanks. a swath of rain coming through, and there might even be more just behind that in York. Continue to play baseball from Sovereign Bank Stadium. Next pitch, a jam shot sent towards the middle. It finds its way through for a base hit because of indecision, and also that there was one man out, and all Noah can do is move up 90 feet. He's at second base. Shanks occupying first. Travis Scott. Travis Scott. 1-for-1. A single for the catcher. That's all that's really happened today. First toss upcoming from the left-hander. Twists his head around. Serafini induces a swing and a miss. Fell right off the table, 0-1. The Bluefish have found some problems, not second, third, or fourth time around, but usually the first time around in this York order. Attack early and have not seemed to be able to put him away. Pitch sent foul to left, 0-2. Some of the big differences on this team, Sean Stidful obviously was one of them. But another one that may have made a huge impact is the departure of Jose Herrera. He was a big-time left-handed hitter, a professional hitter labeled by Willie Upshaw. Hit the ball hard every time. 0-2, slide step, no pitch, as timeout was called late by Chase Edmondson. He wants the ball back as he's frustrated. Pitch clocked at 87. Runners at first and second, one man out. Lefty versus lefty. Glove at the stomach. Twists his head around, steps forward, and a missile goes inside. 1-2. For a left-handed batter, it would be expected that Luis Lopez would be playing well off the third base side. The scouting report may say for Lopez to play closer to third base bag than normal for a left-handed batter. Next toss is grounded towards second. Backpedaling and flipping second one. On to first. Double play. 4-6-3 to end the inning. That time it was not such a wonderful throw by Rogers, but the hop was a friendly one right to Peterson about belt high. He was able to snag Figueroa, Rogers, and Peterson. At the end of 4 innings, the Bluefish trail 3-1. There were 2 hits and only 1 runner left on base. Stay tuned for the top of the 5th right after this on BridgeportBluefish.com.
Piazza talks about the Baseball Hall of Fame.
It just connects you with the history of the game and the tradition of this game and how important this game is to the fabric of society. It's something I used to bond with my father, and I will always, and I'll love to sort of teach my kids the history of baseball.
Preserving history, honoring excellence, connecting generations. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Why do we love baseball? Is it the uniforms, the pace of the game, the mascots? Could be. Or could it be that what we really love is that baseball reminds us how we can all come out ahead when we work together, just like a good team? At Prudential Annuities, we understand that when everyone works together, good things can happen. That's why each year we uphold a commitment to helping charitable causes in our community by pitching in financial resources and by enabling Prudential Annuities employees to help others through volunteer work. From conducting mentoring programs and helping homeless shelters to supporting health awareness and food banks, Prudential Annuities is more than a big company in Fairfield County. We're a big part of the community, too. Prudential Annuities, going to bat for the community.
The Prudential Insurance Company of America, Newark, New Jersey, and its affiliates. Prudential Annuities is a business of Prudential Financial, Inc.
At Miller Lite, we believe that sharing a pitcher of our great-tasting draft beer will bring friends together for a good time. And good is way better than bad. No one reminisces about the bad old days. If your guess is as bad as mine, then we're a couple of idiot faces. So far, so bad? Turn that frown upside down, grumpy pants. So why have a bad time when you could have a good time with a pitcher of Miller Lite draft beer? Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
Bluefish baseball is back for the top of the fifth. This may be the last chance for the Bluefish to get to the plate before the monsoon comes to the area. The first pitch on its way from Derek Gordon to Hillenbrand is a chopper to short. Gonzalez fields and throws. It is a tad high, but Nowak was able to keep his foot on the bag. 6-3 on the putout. 4 straight outs recorded by Danny Gonzalez. James Shanks, Danny Gonzalez, the only runs driven in today for the Revolution. The other run scored on an error, fielder's choice by Nowak, but a throwing error made on double play ball attempt from Luis Figueroa as James Simmons steps up. Simmons has 6 home runs this year, but he's 0 for 1 today. The fastball turned loose on the outside corner, 0-1. Bluefish understand the importance of this inning, and I'm sure the Revolution do too. The 0-1 curveball flattens outside, 1-1. The Bluefish and Revolution will play again this season at this venue. Comes in a few weeks. The 1-1 flattens out low, 2 balls and a strike. It'll happen during a 9-game road trip featuring York and Long Island the first part, and then Southern Maryland. 2-1, a pounce foul down the right field line, sent off the end of the bat. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Simmons, originally with the San Francisco Giants organization, as he waggles the bat, continues to work on his approach every day. The 2-2 settles low, 3 balls, 2 strikes. And during his time, he was unable to hit the baseball too well. If you're the California League and you cannot hit beyond a certain average or drive for that much power, it's a dilemma because that's a hitter's league. The 3-2 served in the air to right center field. Moving back towards the track is Fiorentino. He tries to catch up and makes the play towards the track for out number 2. F9 to Simmons. Luis Figueroa moves forward. Nice piece of hitting for Simmons, but enough speed from Fiorentino to make up most of the real estate. With 2 away, second baseman is up. Popped out to second base in his only, actually popped up to short as the pitch is ripped to left field. Pretty well hit. If it's fair, it's gone, but that ball is well foul. Turned on it. Derek Gordon will probably not be throwing that pitch anymore rest of the at-bat. The 0-1 from Gordon. Open stance. The delivery is chopped on the ground. Base hit down the left field line. Figueroa rounds first. He's going for 2. The throw from Brandon Hoffman. Not in time. It was a closer play than expected. It was on the fly just between second and third base. An attempt to swipe tag unsuccessful on the second baseman, Andres Perez. As a result, it is a 2-out double, setting up Edgardo Baez. Baez, a home run today. Bluefish would love to have a second one, tie the game at 3, and force York's hand to at least continue to work. Of course, the rain will be coming, and they'd like to come back. Just they do not want to have to take the loss. The curveball sweeps inside, 1-0. If Edgardo Baez gets on, Eddie Rogers would be the guy up at the plate. Figueroa takes a decent-sized lead at second. He's well past the cutoff. As the next toss slides low. 2 balls, no strikes. Derek Gordon has not pitched this long into a ball game. Have to go way back to June 19th, exactly a month to the day, and he tossed against his current team, the York Revolution. 6 innings of baseball. Next toss, chopper towards the middle. It is a base hit. Figueroa rounding 30s, coming to the plate. The throw is in plenty of time. He is a dead duck. As Luis Figueroa is gunned out, the Bluefish unable to score the run as Willie Upshaw waved him around. Did not have quite enough speed to make it to the plate. A solid throw from Scott Grimes. No runs in the inning on 2 base hits. A runner left on at the end of 4.5. Bridgeport trailing 3-1. Stay tuned. You're listening to Bluefish Baseball on BridgeportBluefish.com.
We believe that sharing a pitcher of our great-tasting draft beer will bring friends together for a good time. And good is way better than bad. No one reminisces about the bad old days. If your guess is as bad as mine, then we're a couple of idiot faces. So far, so bad? Turn that frown upside down, grumpy pants. So why have a bad time when you could have a good time with a pitcher of Miller Lite draft beer? Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility. At Miller Lite, we know there's only one thing baseball fans love as much as great Pilsner taste, and that's rooting for the home team. 'Cause home is way better than away. Away is not where the heart is. Bringing away the bacon? Why? Bacon is delicious. Away is where you hang your hat? You should be hung up by your underpanties. So why root for the away team when you can root for the home team? With a great Pilsner taste of Miller Lite. Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
Shark tooth, screwdriver, golf tee from the golf trip that you never went golfing on, grill fork, tuning fork, fork, drumsticks, a motel key. Let's not talk about the motel key. Needle nose pliers, a spark plug, a domino, a house key. There's lots of things you can use to open the new Miller Lite Punch Top can, but you'll always get the same thing. A smooth pour with less glug. However you punch it, it's Miller time. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility. Shark tooth, screwdriver, skeleton key, golf tee from the golf trip that you never went golfing on, grill fork, tuning fork, fork, the lucky fishing lure you snagged Alan with. Sorry, Alan. Drumsticks, chopsticks from the place you met that Dallas-based flight attendant. A motel key. Let's not talk about the motel key. A spark plug, a domino, a house key. How do these things make Miller Lite from a can even better? Find out May 2012. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
We welcome you back to the Bluefish Broadcast Network. Perry Miles here. We have completed 4.5, going to the bottom of the 5th. Bluefish are down by a score of 3-1. They had an opportunity. They're in scoring position. Edgardo Baez came up with a single, but Figueroa was gunned out at the plate. The first pitch on its way from Serafini is upstairs, 1-0. May have been over aggressiveness, but with Eddie Rogers coming to the plate, a possibility of stolen base from Baez. Might have been able to have runners at second and third at that point, but Willie Upshaw decided to go for it, and he did not come up successful. The first offering was a ball. The second one waved at for a strike, 1-1. The outfielders playing a little bit deeper. The Storms have not made as much progress as initially thought. Once they get here, though, as the next pitch is chased, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Once the Storms do get here, in all likelihood, the rain will engulf the area and spread over the entire region. York and points west, also points south. 1-2. Fastball inside 2-2. Matter of fact, there are some severe thunderstorms. Taking a look at the map, coming all the way through. Matter of fact, some of them even creeping into some of the outskirts. The 2-2 Curveball bounced on the ground, foul to the third base side. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. If you were to take a quick look, there is a severe thunderstorm in Biglerville, Lattimore Township, which is northwest of York. And where we are, it's relatively close to where the red dot indicates, the 2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Going down, Danny Gonzalez. First out of the frame. And it brings up Brandon Hoffman. Hoffman is 0 for 2 today. Lefty versus lefty. Serafini unleashes the curveball upstairs and inside, 1-0. Lopez angling in, hoping to read the bunt right away. He knows what Hoffman's capable of. He's a speedster at a Purdue University. Chopper towards second. Figueroa charges in and fires on the move 2 away. A 4-3 put out for Hoffman to set up Scott Grimes. Grimes a single and a fly ball to center in his at-bats. Let's take a quick look at the scoreboard update courtesy of PointStreet.com and AtlanticLeague.com. The River Sharks and the Barnstormers tied at 2 in the top of the 4th. They are looking at a similar weather pattern with storms coming into the Lancaster area. Somerset and Long Island, 3-1. Patriots on top of the Ducks. Fastball turned loose outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Standings look convincing for the Bluefish. 4-2 to start off, but they'd like to have one more crack in the 6th inning to be able to perform. Next toss waved after a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Clouds are getting deeper and darker in the background. Remember looking at flash photography and videos from New York City on the Weather Channel yesterday, how dark the skies became in the middle of the afternoon. 1-1, slapped down the right field line out of play, 1-2. It will be the umpire's decision as to whether the game will continue after a certain amount of rain. Of course, if it continues to rain at a heavy pace, they probably will not see any reason to continue the contest. It's up to the Revolution management to determine if the game hasn't started. Once the game has thrown a first pitch, the umpires will use their discretion. The 1-2, another foul ball. A ball and 2 strikes. At 8:05, still a little bit ways west. And the storm moved very slowly. Still probably have another 20-25 minutes before the storm may get to the area as the pitch is swung on and missed, strike 3. Serafini is able to work out of the 5th inning. He's completed 5 and has given up 3 runs in the contest. End of 5. Bridgeport trailing 3-1. Stay tuned. You're listening to Bluefish Baseball on BridgeportBluefish.com.
Why do we love baseball? Is it the uniforms, the pace of the game, the mascots? Could be. Or could it be that what we really love is that baseball reminds us how we can all come out ahead when we work together, just like a good team? At Prudential Annuities, we understand that when everyone works together, good things can happen. That's why each year we uphold a commitment to helping charitable causes in our community by pitching in financial resources and by enabling Prudential Annuities employees to help others through volunteer work. From conducting mentoring programs and helping homeless shelters to supporting health awareness and food banks, Prudential Annuities is more than a big company in Fairfield County. We're a big part of the community too. Prudential Annuities, going to bat for the community.
The Prudential Insurance Company of America, Newark, New Jersey, and its affiliates. Prudential Annuities is a business of Prudential Financial Inc.
This is Terry McGriff, pitching coach for the Bridgeport Bluefish, and you listen to Perry Miles on the Bluefish broadcast.
A poem entitled Coors Light Summer. It's a Coors Light summer, hot babes all around. Backyard barbecues are where you'll be found. It gets pretty hot out, but it'll be alright because coolers are filled with ice-cold Coors Light. You step outside, mini skirts galore. Beer garden for the ball game, that's what's in store. It's gonna be a scorcher, but there's hope in sight. Refreshment awaits, Frost Brewed Coors Light. Thank you.
Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Bluefish baseball back on the air. Perry Miles here. This call to the bullpen presented by Prudential Annuities. Prudential Annuities going to bat for our community. Derek Gordon's day is over. 5 innings of work. He gives up 5 hits, allows 1 run. It was earned. He can win it. He cannot lose it. 68 pitches and 47 of those going for strikes. So Derek Gordon, in his return to the starting rotation, had a successful outing as he got exactly what was needed done for the York Revolution. And it's the first time that he's lasted that long in a month. Well, 5 innings, a month. June 29th to be precise. Adam Thomas, we've seen him a couple of times in the series as he weighs in. Set up his outside the pitch. Grounded foul down the left field line out of play. 0-1. Rogers, Redmond, Peterson, 2, 3, and 4. There would behoove the Bluefish to get a base runner on, so that way one of the sluggers can try to drive in the tying run. Rogers in 0 for 2 with 2 pop flies to short. Next toss, a high pop to shallow left field. The shortstop, Danny Gonzalez, has room and calls for it to make the catch. 1 away on the P6. Let's take a quick look at the Major League Baseball scoreboard update. The New York Mets defeated the Washington Nationals 9-5. The White Sox lead the Red Sox 1-0 in the middle of the 4th. The Yankees and A's, a 10:05 first pitch from California. Pitch, slider away, 1-0. Thomas has the capability of reaching 90s with the fastball, 92, 93, 94. And even did so more last year as Thomas delivers another ground ball foul. Thomas is an ERA around 3, and he's had multiple save opportunities for the Revolution. Him and Ricardo Gomez have split time since the departure of R.J. Rodriguez. And there have been a number of players who have moved on. The 1-1 fastball tails away, 2-1. ERA specifically in the 3s. Right-handed Thomas sets in. Next toss, reached for by Redmond. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Not the kind of swing that Redmond would like to show every time, but he did pick up a double last at bat. Fortunately, he was stranded every time. 6-3 ground ball, eliminating any possibility of him scoring. And it's possible that when Figueroa is thrown out, as Redmond sends a high sky ball to right field, charging forward to make the play, Jeff Fiorentino. 2 away in the 6th on an F9. And the Storms are definitely heading to the area, but it has not even come that close to this point. If you look at the comparison from 7:55 to 8:05, the thunderstorm moved to Route 15. It probably still has one more inning if the Bluefish are able to get a quick one. The 2-out toss, Swung on line drive, base hit for Brock Peterson. He extends his on-base streak with that single. And Luis Lopez comes to the plate with a chance to tie the game. Lopez knows the importance of this at-bat. If he does not pick up a hit, chances are nobody will for the rest of the night for the Fish. That storm is a train on Route 15 where Lake Mead and Gettysburg meet up. Close to there, and it is coming within proximity of the York, Pennsylvania region. Righty versus righty. The setup, pitch, fastball on the outside corner, 0-1. Thomas clipping at 90. It was a hot and humid day, almost like a steam room. And towards the nighttime, it has cooled considerably, much cooler than it was this time. The 0-1 sent high in the air to right of center field. Scott Grimes makes the play for the final out of the sixth. A single by Peterson, but no runs come to the plate after the F8 retires any possibility. The Bluefish are trailing 3-1 at the end of 5.5. You're listening to Bluefish Baseball on BridgeportBluefish.com.
Miller Lite. We don't just make a light beer with average taste. We make one with great Pilsner taste. And there's a big difference between great and average. Nobody strives to achieve averageness. Exploring the average outdoors? Have fun in your backyard, Magellan. If that book was called Average Expectations, it wouldn't be worth Dickens. Average minds don't think alike. They don't think, period. So why settle for average taste when you can have great Pilsner taste? Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility.
Mike Piazza talks about the Baseball Hall of Fame.
It just connects you with the history of the game and the tradition of this game and how important this game is to the fabric of society. It's something I used to bond with my father, and I will always, and I love to sort of teach my kids the history of baseball.
Preserving history, honoring excellence, connecting generations. Connect with Cooperstown at baseballhall.org.
Why do we love baseball? Is it the uniforms? The pace of the game? The match? Could it be that what we really love is that baseball reminds us how we can all come out ahead when we work together, just like a good team? At Prudential Annuities, we understand that when everyone works together, good things can happen. That's why each year we uphold a commitment to helping charitable causes in our community by pitching in financial resources and by enabling Prudential Annuities employees to help others through volunteer work. From conducting mentoring programs and helping homeless shelters to supporting health awareness and food banks, Prudential Annuities is more than a big company in Fairfield County. We're a big part of the community too. Prudential Annuities, going to bat for the community.
The Prudential Insurance Company of America, Newark, New Jersey, and its affiliates. Prudential Annuities is a business of Prudential Financial, Inc.
Bluefish baseball continues to the bottom of the sixth inning. Ramon Castro is up at the plate as Dan Serafini continues to work. The rain has held off for a while, but it is definitely coming. It's just taking a little bit longer than what was expected. It is hammering Gettysburg right now, at least at the last check at 8:15. Sure, there's an update to that as the pitch rotates outside 1-0. 8:20 on the dot from York, Pennsylvania, lower Susquehanna Valley. Bluefish down 3-1, a run on 6 base hits, 1 error. 3 runs, 5 hits, no mistakes. Castro waits and lets a fastball go outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Still has a little bit of ways to go before it gets to downtown York. The Bluefish may have one more inning left in them offensively. The 2-0 fastball glides inside, 3 balls, no strikes. Now, if you were to examine from the 8 o'clock time period to the 8:15, it did not move a whole lot. There's a little bit of a yellow dot on the screen, which is approaching York. As you can see the lightning in the background, the pitch is inside, ball 4, as Castro takes his base. Castro reaches for the first time tonight. Brings up Andres Perez. Other news stories. Andrew Luck signed by the Indianapolis Colts for training camp. Jeremy Lin was introduced by the Houston Rockets at the news conference. And Darren Williams, Carmelo Anthony star in the U.S. win as they prepare for another Olympic gold medal. Lightning flashes in the background, but it may not come here for a little bit. Pitch, fastball in the inside corner. 0-1. And many people are being told at this time to move into an area where there is a canopy, so that way the lightning does not strike. We are in a relatively open area at the ballpark. Just a little bit of cover, but not a whole lot. Next toss is delayed for a moment. No balls, 1 strike, nobody out. 3-1 the score. Andres Perez has walked, scored a run, and popped out to second. The next toss dives to the dirt. Castro cannot advance. He's told to hold up by Enoel Polanco. 1 ball, 1 strike. You can see another lightning flash in the background. It's going to get closer and closer until it surfaces over the area and the rain starts to pound down. At that point, the Bluefish hope that they have one last opportunity. Right now, the Revolution not allowing them for that as the ground ball is sent to the left, 1-2. Bluefish have had their chances. They just have not been able to take advantage. If the Bluefish do get up in the 7th inning, Louis Rodriguez, Shea Hillenbrand, James Simmons are going to make their way to the batter's box. Serafini's 1-2 to Perez. Setup is outside the pitch. Another foul ball.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, with lightning there at Sovereign Bank Stadium, please consider moving into the covered area of the stadium for your own safety.
The continued warning to move into a covered area because it is 9 minutes since the time, and now another lightning bolt flashes in the middle of the air. The storms developed southwest of Harrisburg. They continued through and continued to increase in strength as they moved along Route 30, which is a route that takes you west and east of York. 1-2. A high drive towards left of center. James Simmons has a beat on it and makes the catch. 1 away on the F8 as Jeff Fiorentino moves in. In time for where this rain is. But that gap may be closed up according to the weather forecasters of the area. Already raining in Harrisburg, closing in on York. Lefty versus lefty. Fiorentino stands in and lets a first pitch fastball go 1-0. Temperature has dropped a couple of degrees. Wind is picked up. It's even becoming more misty than anything else, or foggy. Such a dank night in York. Serafini waits, glove towards the chest. The next pitch, fastball, trails low. 3 balls, no strikes. Serafini cannot afford to give up any more runs, and he needs to be able to reduce a ground ball double play. But none of the hitters are giving him that opportunity. Hit the ball hard away from the players. Fastball on the middle. 3-1. It was so sultry today. It was even worse yesterday. Serafini's 3-1, outside low ball, 4-2 walks in the inning for Serafini. There is a pitcher warming up at the bullpen for the Bluefish. but Serafini is going to be allowed probably to stay one, maybe two more hitters. His responsibility was to record out to Fiorentino as the ball comes scaling back, overthrown by one of the members of the bullpen as Luis Rodriguez makes the throw back. Willie Upshaw visiting the mound because of that reason to talk about strategy. Runners at first and second with one man out. Trying to induce the double play, had to be in position. At that point, maybe a surprise from Nowak as there's another series of lightning flashes in the air. And it's just only a matter of minutes before the lightning spreads into this area. Bluefish know that this meeting has to adjourn quickly and that in order for the Bluefish to continue to play, they need to get a double play now and perhaps get 2 runs on the board before the rainstorms come. The timetable was about 8:45. The weather forecasters knew it as more lightning flashes coming. Serafini stares at the sign provided by Luis Rodriguez. Nowak in. Lefty versus righty. The first pitch, fastball elevated 1-0. If Nowak reaches without a double plate turn, James Shanks is waiting in the on-deck circle. He'll get some cracks at the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. As another huge set of lightning flashes through the sky. Fastball, tails outside. 2 balls, no strikes. The fans are being encouraged to go to an area of shelter. The 2-0 from Serafini, way inside, 3-0. He's lost much of his command in this inning, and perhaps the third time around is the one that costs Serafini to a degree. Two-one, way upstairs. 3-0 is upstairs, ball 4. Kept on changing the count total. Another walk, and that is it for Serafini. Willie Upshaw did not want to do this, but he understands that he needs to record 2 outs now. James Shanks is stepping out to the plate. This call to the bullpen presented by Prudential Annuities. Prudential Annuities going to bat for our community. It appears that Kyle Zaleski is heading into the game. Bases loaded, 1 man out when we return on BridgeportBluefish.com.
Why do we love baseball? Is it the uniforms, the pace of the game, the mascots? Could be. Or could it be that what we really love is that baseball reminds us how we can all come out ahead when we work together, just like a good team? At Prudential Annuities, we understand that when everyone works together, good things can happen. That's why each year we uphold a commitment to helping charitable causes in our community by pitching in financial resources and by enabling Prudential Annuities employees to help others through volunteer work. From conducting mentoring programs and helping homeless shelters to supporting health awareness and food banks, Prudential Annuities is more than a big company in Fairfield County. We're a big part of the community, too. Prudential Annuities, going to bat for the community.
The Prudential Insurance Company, Inc.
Hey kids, it's not too late to join BB and all of his friends by becoming a member of the Bluefish Snappers Club. The Snappers Club is the newest club for all of the biggest or littlest Bluefish fans. As a member of the Snappers Club, you'll not only get free entrance on Snappers Club Day, but you'll also get a membership card to show all of your friends. plus a special t-shirt that will tell everyone you're a member of the club. After each Sunday home game, Baseball Bunch members will also be invited onto the field to run the bases, just like the Bluefish do. You'll even receive a newsletter that will fill you in on all of your favorite Bluefish players, along with all the news that BB Snappers Club has to offer. To join the coolest club around, call 203-345-4800 or go to bridgeportbluefish.com/kids/snappers to become a member of BB's Snappers Club.
Looking for something to do that the whole family will enjoy? Then drop on by the box office at the ballpark at Harbor Yard to pick up your individual game tickets for Bluefish Baseball today. With 3 great seating options, field box, loge, and reserved, every seat gets you up close and personal with the action at Harbor Yard. Mondays and Tuesdays are Kids Eat Free nights presented by Friendly's and the Big Y Supermarket. Thirsty Thursdays, presented by Budweiser, are back this year, followed by giveaway nights on Freebie Fridays. Blast off on Saturdays with fireworks spectaculars beginning on May 28th. If you're looking to catch some afternoon sunshine, Chet Family Fun Sundays are a blast with pre-game team autograph sessions and kids run the bases after the game. In addition to the box office, Bluefish tickets can be purchased online at bridgeportbluefish.com or by calling a Bluefish sales representative at 203-345-4800. Get your tickets now and prepare to be blown out of the water by Willie Upshaw and the 2010 Liberty Division champion, Bridgeport Bluefish.
We welcome you back to the Bluefish Broadcast Network. We do apologize for any technical difficulties that we may have been encountering, but we've decided to take everything indoors because the rain is here, the lightning is here. The question is, when will the umpires decide to bring all the players in? And there's a huge flash of lightning in the background. The players don't care. This call to the bullpen as the pitch is swung on and missed. 0-1. This call to the bullpen is presented by Prudential Annuities. Prudential Annuities going to bat for our community. Kyle Zaleski in the game for the Fish. And this is right now a downpour if there ever was one, with a thunderstorm in the area. Next toss from Zaleski inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Going with the microphone as opposed to the natural sound in the background due to the inclement weather that has taken over the area. York, Pennsylvania, the site. Kyle Zaleski weighs in, continuing to play through the elements. Bases are loaded. 1-1, way outside. Rodriguez scampers after it, slides and throws home, as he may have gotten a little wet, and the home plate umpire, Chase Edmondson, talks with Matt Hensel, the first base umpire, to see whether or not they should continue with the game, because Louis Rodriguez looked like he was struggling to get over there. It is conducive for getting hurt. And there's plenty of rain now coming onto the field. It is a downpour. Question is how much of that gets onto the field. It's not a whole lot right now. All Kyle Zaleski wants to do is get a grip on the baseball as more flashes of lightning come in the background. We knew this was coming. Came a little bit earlier than expected at 8:35 instead of the 8:45 hour. Slider dips outside, 3 balls and a strike. Zaleski shaking his head back and forth, and the rains have come, and that is it. Kyle Zaleski held the ball one more time, and we are going to be in the middle of a rain delay as Zaleski was called off to the field. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 man out. We'll quickly go to a commercial break, and when we come back, we will have the rest of the scoring summary and update you on many other scores and what the Bluefish have done to this point. Stay tuned. You're listening to Bluefish Baseball on BridgeportBluefish.com.
Do we love baseball? Is it the uniforms, the pace of the game, the mascots? Could be. Or could it be that what we really love is that
The Prudential Insurance Company of America, Newark, New Jersey, and its affiliates. Prudential Annuities is a business of Prudential Financial, Inc.
Hey kids, it's not too late to join BB and all of his friends by becoming a member of the Bluefish Snappers Club. The Snappers Club is the newest club for all of the biggest or littlest Bluefish fans. As a member of the Snappers Club, you'll not only get free entrance on Snappers Club Day, but you'll also get a membership card to show all of your friends, plus a special t-shirt that will tell everyone you're a member of the club. After each Sunday home game, Baseball Bunch members will also be invited onto the field to run the bases, just like the Bluefish do. You'll even receive a newsletter that will fill you in on all of your favorite Bluefish players, along with all the news that BB Snappers Club has to offer. To join the coolest club around, call 203-345-4800 or go to BridgeportBluefish.com/kids/snappers to become a member of BB's Snappers Club.
Looking for something to do that the whole family will enjoy? Then drop on by the box office at the ballpark at Harbor Yard to pick up your individual game tickets for Bluefish Baseball today. With 3 great seating options, field box, loge, and reserved, every seat gets you up close and personal with the action at Harbor Yard. Monday presented by Thirsty Thursdays, presented by Budweiser, are back this year, followed by giveaway nights on 3D 500. Get your tickets now and prepare to be blown out of the water.
We welcome you back to the Bluefish Broadcast Network. Perry Miles here. The Bluefish, middle of the rain delay. It is a deluge at Sovereign Bank Stadium. Let's take a quick look at the scoring summary. Not much to speak of. A home run by Edgardo Baez, and that was it. For Bridgeport, a walk, a single by Fiorentino, a fielder's choice. But on the fielder's choice, the throw to first was not in time, and the ball got away, and allowing both runners to move up, which allowed Perez to score to make it 1-1. James Shankson, an RBI single to make it 2-1. Travis Scott a single, and then Danny Gonzalez with a sacrifice fly to make it a 3-1 ball game at this point, as the Bluefish are hoping that they'll have another opportunity. But once it hits, it's going to spread out quite a long way for York, as the tarp is on the field. There are lightning strikes in the background. Everything that a thunderstorm is made of. And you can hear the boom in the background as well. Let's take a quick look at the hit totals for each team. 5 base hits, no errors. The Bluefish got a multiple hit day from Baez so far. Single in the 5th as well with the home run. Prentice Redmond a double. Brock Peterson extends his on-base streak to 13 in a row. Then, of course, you have Shea Hillenbrand with a single, a double from Luis Figueroa. That is it for the Bluefish. 5 hits total for the Revolution. Grimes has 1. A walk from Castro, that was it. A walk from Perez, that's it, and the run scored. A walk and a single from Fiorentino. A walk and a single from Nowak. 2 singles from Shanks. A Travis Scott single, and that's it. That is it for the Revolution. Right now, Derek Gordon stands to be the victor in this rain-shortened game. If this game does not continue on, the umpires will use their discretion to determine whether or not this game will be in the books. Remember, if the game does continue, the bases will be loaded with a 3-1 count with 1 man out. The Revolution ahead 3-1 in the bottom half of inning 6. More lightning flashes in the background taking place. Let's take a quick look at the scores from around Major League Baseball and the Atlantic League. First, the Atlantic League. As always, the Bluefish are not the only ones in action. The Barnstormers lead the River Sharks 5-4 in the bottom of the 5th. They are about to be engulfed with this downpour. Meanwhile, Somerset, and that's in the bottom of the 5th. Somerset leads Long Island 3-1 in the top of the 6th inning. Those are your scores from around the Atlantic League. And then ESPN.com has the latest scores and summaries from around Major League Baseball. The Yankees and A's at 10:05. The Mets beat the Nationals 9-5. The White Sox won. The Red Sox nothing. Runner at first base on the top of the 6th. Other scores, except for the Houston-San Diego game, are final. Houston and San Diego, 10:05 p.m. start. Other scores, Atlanta edges San Francisco 3-2. Tampa Bay blanks Cleveland 6-0. Cincinnati 7, Arizona 6. Detroit 5. And the LA Angels 1. Baltimore 4. and Minnesota 3. Seattle takes down Kansas City 6-1. The Cubs double up the Miami Marlins by a score of 4-2. And now it is really coming down at Sovereign Bank Stadium. It is a deluge on the field, and chances are within 30, 35, 40 minutes, the game will be called. There's a certain time limit for which the game can or will be determined, and in all likelihood, this go to commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have an update for you on BridgeportBluefish.com.
The YP.com website is your local search engine. If you're looking for a good restaurant, it can help you find the right one nearby with ratings and reviews. Or if your car breaks down, you can use the YP app to find the closest repair shop. Or maybe you're just looking for something to do on a Friday night. Well, it has great local coupons for all sorts of things in your area. No matter what, when, or where, if you're looking for something, YP Local Search can help you find it. So go to YP.com or download the app to search local, find local, and save local.
The Gear Shop at the ballpark at Harbor Yard is your one-stop shop for everything Bluefish. Take a break from the action and check out all your Bluefish souvenir favorites. From men's and women's t-shirts and a wide selection of home, road, and other trendy hats, to Beer the Fin rally towels, team photos, and commemorative baseballs. The Gear Shop has it all. Don't forget about our kids' wear section, game-worn jerseys, even your own stuffed BB the Bluefish, and more. The Bluefish Gear Shop is located on the third base side of the concourse level at the ballpark at Harbor Yard and is open on game days. Come and browse all your favorite Bluefish apparel from an hour before the first pitch until the final out is made. Can't make it to the ballpark on game day but still want to support Fairfield County's only professional baseball team? Then check out the new Bluefish online store at BridgeportBluefish.com or call 203-345-4800 to schedule an appointment. The Bluefish Gear Shop, perfect gifts for all ages and all sizes. Located at the ballpark at Harbor Yard, 500 Main Street, Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Run from cages on highway lines.
feels warmer sleeping here alone. You know I dream in color and do the things I want. You think you got the best of me, think you've had the last laugh, but you think that everything good is gone. Think you left me broken down, think that I'll come running back. Baby, you don't know me 'cause you're dead wrong. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little taller. Doesn't mean I'm lonely when I'm alone. What doesn't kill you makes you fighter. Footsteps even lighter. Doesn't mean I'm over 'cause you're gone. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, stronger. Just me, myself, and I. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little taller. Doesn't mean I'm lonely doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little taller. Doesn't mean I'm lonely when I'm alone. What doesn't kill you makes a fighter. Footsteps even lighter. Doesn't mean I'm over, 'cause you're gone. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, stronger. Just me, myself, and I. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little taller. Doesn't mean I'm lonely when I'm alone. Thanks to you, I got a new thing started. Thanks to you, I'm not the broken hearted. Thanks to you, I'm finally thinking about me. You know, in the end, the day you left was just my beginning. In the end, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little taller. Doesn't mean I'm lonely when I'm alone. What doesn't kill you makes a fighter. Footsteps even lighter. Doesn't mean I'm over, 'cause you're gone. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, stronger. Just me, myself, and I. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little taller. Doesn't mean I'm lonely when I'm alone. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, stronger. Just me, myself, and I. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Stand a little taller. Doesn't mean I'm lonely when I'm alone. When I'm alone.
It was 1989, my thoughts were short, my hair was long. Caught somewhere between a boy and man. She was 17 and she was far from in between. It was summertime in northern Michigan. Splashing through the sandbar, talking by the campfire. It's the simple things in life, like when and where. We didn't have no internet, but man, I never will forget the way the moonlight shined upon her hair. And we were trying different things, and we were smoking funny things, making love out by the lake to our favorite song. Sipping whiskey out the bottle, not thinking about tomorrow. Singing Sweet Home Alabama all summer long. It was 1989, my thoughts were short, my hair was long. Caught somewhere between a boy and man. She was 17 and she was far from in between. It was summertime in northern Michigan. Splashing through the sandbar, talking by the campfire. It's the simple things in life, like when and where. We didn't have no internet, but man, I never will forget the way the moonlight shined upon her hair. And we were trying different things, and we were smoking funny things, making love out by the lake to our favorite song. Sipping whiskey out the bottle, not thinking about tomorrow. Singing Sweet Home Alabama all summer long. Singing Sweet Home Alabama all summer long. Catching walleye from the dock, watching the waves roll off the rocks. She'll forever hold a spot inside my soul. We'd blister in the sun, we couldn't wait for night to come. different things. And we were smoking funny things, making love out by the lake to our favorite song. Sipping whiskey out the bottle, not thinking about tomorrow. Singing Sweet Home Alabama all summer long. Singing Sweet Home Alabama all summer long. Nothing seems as strange as when the leaves began to change. Oh, how we thought those days would never end. Sometimes I hear that song and I'll start to sing along and think, man, I'd love to see that girl again. Man, I'd like to see that girl again. And we were trying different things, and we were smoking funny things, making love out by the lake to our favorite songs. Whiskey out the bottle, not thinking about tomorrow. Singing Sweet Home Alabama all summer long. Singing Sweet Home Alabama all summer long. Singing Sweet Home Alabama all summer long.
With a dream, my cardigan. Welcome to the land of fame excess. Am I gonna fit in? Jumped in the cab, here I am for the first time. Look to my right and I see the Hollywood sign. This is all so crazy. Everybody seems so famous. My tummy's turning and I'm feeling kinda homesick. Too much pressure and I'm nervous. That's when the taxi man turned on the radio and a Jay-Z song was on. And the Jay-Z song was on. And the Jay-Z song was on. So I put my hands up to play my song. The butterflies fly away. Nodding my head like yeah, moving my hips like yeah. I put my hands up to play my song. You know I'm gonna be okay. Yeah, it's a party in the USA. Yeah, it's a party in the USA. Get to the club in my taxi cab. Everybody's looking at me now. Like, who's that chick that's rocking kicks? She gotta be from out of town. So hard with my girls on around me. It's definitely not a Nashville party, cause all I see is the letters. I guess I never got the memo. My tummy's turning and I'm feeling kinda homesick. Too much pressure and I'm nervous. That's when the DJ dropped my favorite tune. And the Britney song was on. And the Britney song was on. And the Britney song was on. So I put my hands up to play my song. The butterflies fly away. Nodding my head like yeah, moving my hips like
Miller Lite guards are saving men from making the unmanly choice of drinking light beer with less taste. How? With great tasting Miller Lite, taste points, and thousands of prizes. So man up at tastepoints.com today. No purchase necessary. Open to legal U.S. residents 21 or older. Void in California and where prohibited. Sweepstakes begin 5/1/11 and ends 7/31/11. For details, how to enter, and complete official rules, go to tastepoints.com. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility. At Miller Lite, we believe if you're not choosing a light beer with more taste, you need to man up, not man down. Because up is way better than down. You don't tell someone sad to cheer down. What's down, dog? A steamy pile and you just stepped in it. Your girlfriend's not wearing a push-down bra. It's called gravity, Isaac Nitwit. Can I be down front with you? All this down talk is bringing me down. So don't man down, man up, and choose a light beer with more taste. Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility. At Miller Lite, we believe that sharing a pitcher of our great-tasting draft beer will bring friends together for a good time. And good is way better than bad. No one reminisces about the bad old days. If your guess is as bad as mine, then we're a couple of idiot faces. So far, so bad? Turn that frown upside down, grumpy pants. So why have a bad time when you could have a good time with a pitcher of Miller Lite draft beer? Triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Taste greatness. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Great beer, great responsibility. At Miller Lite, we believe that sharing a pitcher of our great-tasting draft beer will bring friends together for a good time. And good is way better than bad. No one reminisces about the bad old days.
We welcome you back to the Bluefish Broadcast Network. Perry Miles here. This game is over. It has been called by the crew chief as a deluge is coming down at Sovereign Bank Stadium right before the rains came. And it was a thunderstorm before. Now it's a gully wash. And the umpire, hoping just to avoid getting clubbed with all this rain that's coming down on the field. The final score, the York Revolution 3 and the Bridgeport Bluefish 1. The Bluefish will be in action tomorrow, 7:00 first pitch, 6:40 pregame show on BridgeportBluefish.com. There's all kinds of rain coming down now. It is horrible weather in the area. There was a severe thunderstorm warning, and this was the reason, because look how much rain is coming down here. It is coming down as if it was a regular shower. You go into the bathroom, shower's flowing down, and it's coming down at a nonstop pace all over the room, not just in the concentrated area of your hair or the rest of your body. It's coming down like that. The Bluefish and the Revolution have ended their game. The final score after 5.5, the Bluefish fall by a score of 3-1. Bridgeport moves to 4-3. They are now 35-42. The York Revolution 38-39. They are 2-5 in the second half. Raymar Diaz against Dwayne Pollock tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in to the Bluefish Broadcast Network. For more information about Bluefish baseball, you can go to the website, BridgeportBluefish.com. Send me an email, perrym86@gmail.com. Or you can follow me on Twitter, just me, P. Miles. Just me, P. Miles. Edgardo Baez came up with a home run, but the Bluefish could not substantiate that home run into a victory. Bridgeport falls 3-1. For Perry Miles, we will see you 6:40 tomorrow for a 7 o'clock first pitch from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, at Clipper Magazine Stadium. Ta-da to all those. Have a wonderful night. We will see you tomorrow.